Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello all students in your service which is targeted to third secondary grade first semester English language. Our lesson today is from Unit 6, Listening, Grammar, Vocabulary of Mega Goal 5, prepared and presented by Noura As-Sufyan. So all of you are welcome and I need all your concern in this lesson. Let's start. We will learn today listening for specific information, verbs plus infinitives or gerunds with different meanings. The last is vocabulary building. Okay? First of all, listen and discuss. Look at this question here. Do you think there are differences in behavior between men and women, and how? Okay, for me, I'm sure, there are differences in behavior between men and women. How? I think that's because their nature, their thinking, the brains. So here, it's about me. What about you? Do you think there are differences between them or they are equal in thinking? Let's see, this question. You think you know a lot about men and women? For me, no, I don't know a lot about them. But sometimes I have read, you think you know a lot about men and women? So you have to ask yourself this question. How do you know about men and women? Alright, to answer this question, we have to look at this questionnaire here. Answer true or false for these statements. Then check your answers with the results of gender studies. Number 1, women talk more than men. What do you think? Is that true or false? Is that true that women are talkative than men? Number 2, women tend to worry more than men. You think, is that true or false? Number 3, men are more truthful than women. Is that true or false? So you have to answer these questions before you listen to the text about the nature or about the differences between men and women. And you keep your answers to check them after you're listening. Okay? Let's start with the first part here.
1. The common stereotype that women talk more than men is wrong. In fact, recent research shows that there is very little gender difference in how much people speak. Some research suggests that men tend to speak more than women in formal settings, and that women speak more in informal situations. One study revealed that women speak an average of about 16,000 words a day, and men do too.
Number 2.
2. Studies show that women worry more frequently and more often than men. This may be due to the fact that women's brains produce less of a brain chemical called COMT, which controls anxiety. Having less of this chemical can make it harder for a person to stop worrying.
Number 3.
3. Women lie frequently, and men do too. However, research shows that women and men tend to lie about different things. Women are more likely to lie in order to try to not hurt a person's feelings. They are also more likely to lie to try to avoid a conflict. However, you are more likely to be told a lie by a man for a different reason. Men more often lie in order to make themselves seem more impressive.
Alright, after listening to the differences between men and women, let's check some words. Here we have stereotype here. The common stereotype that women talk more than men is wrong. It means the idea or the concept or the thought, alright? Here the word gender, recent research shows that there is very little gender difference. Gender here, it's the type. Anxiety here, which controls anxiety, means the worry, And the last word here is conflict. It means that women try to avoid a conflict. conflict means a fighting. Now, after listening to the audio, we have to check our answers for the questionnaire at the beginning of the lesson. Alright, let's see. Answer true or false for these statements. Women talk more than men. It's false. Also, men talk too. So here, alright, this is a true. It's related to their nature or the situations that men and women talk in. Number 2, women tend to worry more than men, and this is true, and we know what is the reason for that. It's because their brains that produce a chemical material, okay, which is or less than the men. Number 3, men are more truthful than women. Okay, this is false. Absolutely, it's false. Okay, both of them lie, and the reason for why they lie, okay, is different. For women, okay, they want to avoid conflict, and they don't want to hurt others. And for the men, okay, the reason is just to show them that they are impressive. Okay, so this is right. The results for the questionnaire, and it's something which is amazing. Let's see the evaluation for the words. Here we have anxiety, gender, stereotype. Complete each sentence with a word from the box. That blonde-haired people are not smart is ridiculous. So here some people said that blonde-haired people aren't smart. So here what we call it's an idea, it's an opinion or thought. So here what's the correct answer? What's the word that means these things or the idea here? It's the stereotype, okay? Number 2, I always feel overwhelming the night before a test. Test here, okay, is connected with worry, so we can say that anxiety, right? Number 3, the of an animal often has a specific name. For example, a male horse is a stallion and a female horse is a mare. So here we have horse, we have 2 types of horse, so it's of course it's gender, okay? The gender, okay? Now let's move to the grammar here. The grammar here we'll talk about 2 types: the verb plus infinitives or gerunds with different meanings, and the passive form. Let's start with the first part here: verb plus infinitives and or gerunds with different meanings. So here we have some verbs, okay, or certain verbs like remember, forget, regret, stop, try. If we have these words or these verbs in a sentence, okay, it can indicate 2 meaning or 2 different meanings here. And we can use remember with infinitive verb plus infinitive, and also we can use it with gerunds. How? Okay, we will see. Look at these 2 sentences for the verb remember. Number 1, he always remembers to send his grandparents a gift on special holidays. Number 2, he remembers sending gifts last year. Here we have the same verb, remember, and the verb after remember in the first sentence is infinitive, to plus base form, to plus a verb, to plus base form, to send. And the verb after remember in the second sentence is verb plus ing. It's a gerund. Okay? We call it a gerund. So, you think is there difference in meaning in both sentences here? Or they are similar in meaning for the using the word remember? Of course, there is a difference, okay? And the difference here is that he always remembers to send his grandparents a gift on special holidays. It means that he always remembers to do a task, to do this mission, right? So this is the meaning of remember to send. If it's followed by infinitive, it means that something which he used to do. Number 2, he remembers sending gifts last year. Remember having done something in the past. It means that there is an action which happened in the past and now he remembers this. Okay? He remembers this. Now let's move to the verb forget. Number 1, She sometimes forgets to call. Number 2, she sometimes forgets calling. So what's the difference between the two verbs, okay, if they followed by infinitive or gerund? You think they are similar in the meaning or different? Of course, they are different. So what is the difference between the infinitive and gerund, using infinitive in the first sentence and using gerund in the second one? She sometimes forgets to call. It means not remember to do a task. It means this is, okay, she used to forget, okay, to call. Number 2, she sometimes forgets calling, not remember having done something in the past. It means that she missed some actions that happened in the past. Alright? What about the third verb, regret? Number 1, I regret to tell you that I have a secret. Number 2, I regret telling you my secret. So here regret is followed by infinitive form, and regret in the second sentence followed by gerund. So what's the difference between telling secret or to tell a secret? In the first sentence, I regret to tell you that I have a secret. It means that it were not necessary to do something. But in the second one, I regret telling you my secret, which it were possible to undo something done in the past. So here, it means that something in the past. Mostly here we have the gerund, okay, related to actions happened in the past that you can remember or forget or regret or try or whatever. Let's move to the evaluation here. Complete each sentence with the correct form of the verb in parentheses. Number 1. I often forget the mail. Then the next day my mailbox is full. So what do you think? Is it I often forget checking the mail or I often forget to check the mail? Of course, okay, here we use the infinitive form, okay, because here it's something that he used to do. It's a task, alright? So to check, we use the infinitive form. Number 2, I regret the car. It was too expensive. From this part, we know is it regret to buy or regret buying? So something happened in the past, alright, very good. So here, buying, gerund, I regret buying the car, because here it's related to something that, okay, you wish to undo in the past. Number 3, did you remember out the garbage? So, did you remember to take out the garbage or did you remember taking out the garbage? Did you remember to take out the garbage? Number 4, I don't remember in the house because we moved when I was only 2 years old. I don't remember living or I don't remember to live in the house. Because we moved when I was only 2 years old, this sentence clarifies the meaning here. So it's something happened in the past, alright? So I don't remember living, okay? We use the gerund. Is that clear? I hope so. Now let's move to the second part, the passive forms. The passive forms of infinitives and gerunds. For the infinitive, everybody wants to be respected by someone. If you notice here, to be respected. To plus be plus respected, verb 3 or past participle. So what's the form of the passive of the infinitive? It's to plus be plus past participle. What about the second part, the gerund? Being asked to settle an argument can be occurred. So the gerund here we see that being plus asked, being plus verb 3 or being plus past participle. What about the evaluation here? Change the sentences from active to passive. All these 4 sentences are active in the active form. Some of them are gerund, some of them are infinitive. So we have to change them to passive and we have to be careful, okay, when we change them. Number 1. According to the picture here, she said that I don't like someone telling me to do my homework. This is an active. What about the passive? What do you think the passive? Here it's a gerund, telling. And you have to remember that for changing active voice to passive voice in the gerund, we have to use being plus verb 3 or past participle. So what can we say? I don't like being told to do my homework. I don't like being told to do my homework. Being plus verb 3 of tell or telling here. Number 2. He wants someone to give him the answer. He wants someone to give him the answer. If we look at the verb here, to give is infinitive. So you have to remember that infinitive form in the passive, to plus be plus past participle or verb 3. So it could be to be given. So how can we form a passive here? He wants to be given the answer. He wants to be given the answer. Number 3. Here, Sheila wants her mother to help her. The verb is to help. It's infinitive. So if the verb is infinitive here, we have to use to plus be plus verb 3. What's verb 3 of help is helped. Okay? To be helped, because it's infinitive. This is the passive. So how can we make a passive sentence? Sheila wants to be helped by her mother. Sheila wants to be helped by her mother. Number 4, or the last sentence here, is babies like someone talking to them. Babies like someone talking to them. Here the verb is talking. It's a gerund, and we have to remember that gerund in the passive should be being plus verb 3. It means that being talked. Being talked. So babies like someone talking to them will be in the passive. Babies like being talked to. Okay? Being talked to, right? Okay. Now the last part of our lesson today is vocabulary building. We have 4 important words in this lesson. You have to focus on them, and you have to know them, and you have to use them in your sentences. The first word is feminine. The second one is species. The third one is masculine. The fourth one is witness. So what's the meaning of them? Feminine here relating to women or girls, female. Okay, this is the sign of feminine, right? The second word, species. Species, if you look here at the fishes or sea creature here, you will find different species. Okay, you'll find different kinds of animals in the sea that live in the sea. So we call them species. It's type of living things. Type of living things. Number 3, masculine here. This is the sign for male or men, related to men or boys or male. Okay, it's opposite of feminine. Feminine is the opposite of masculine here. Number 4 is witness. Witness here, it means observe an accident, to see it by your eyes. Okay, now we will use them in sentences. Fill in spaces with the appropriate words to complete the sentences. Number 1, police are appealing to the accident. So what do you think is the correct word? Is it feminine, masculine, species, or witness? And remember that there is an accident and there is a police. There is an investigation. So what do you think they need? Of course, for the witness. Number 2, the room was utterly what? From the pale colors to the silken-less accents and curved furniture. Here we have pale colors, the light colors like pink, baby blue, whatever. So here, what we call pale colors, the light colors, okay? To the silk and lace accent and curved furniture. You think, is it feminine, masculine, or species? course feminine, okay? Something related to girls. Number 3, most of the non-Rhino are West African. Most of the non-Rhino are West African. Rhino here. There are different types of rhino. So what's the correct answer here is species. Most of the non-rhino species are West African. Number 4, the voice was sharp and commanding. It's a description of a voice of a man, okay? So we can say that the masculine voice was sharp and commanding. So let's summarize what we have taught today or learned today. We learned today, if you remember at the beginning of our lesson, we learned about the facts or differences between men and women, and also we learned the difference in meaning between the infinitive and gerund for some verbs. Remember, forget, regret, stop, try, okay? And at the end we learn 4 words: feminine, species, masculine, and witness. For references, here we have Megago Student's Book and Teacher's Guide, and also Google Clip R for pictures. And also, okay, we get some sentences. I got some sentences from the website here. For more information about the lesson, you can surf the website. You can send your comments on Twitter accounts, or you can call the number here. This is all for today. Hope all of you get benefits from my lesson, and hope to see you inshallah next time.